Alright everybody, this is the start of part 10. This is Saturday, December 30th. I have the sub back down in my model shop. And what I'm going to be doing today is hit it with a clear coat. I already touched up the conning tower and the scopes. There was 2 scopes that I had to touch up. The other 2 were in good shape. I'm going to hit it with the clear coat. Let that sit and cure overnight. I probably won't get back to this until the first weekend of the new year. I do have the propeller I got to touch up with the flat red that I have, and I'll probably use my Grex here today on that, and I'll probably film that part. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera here and get this ready for some clear coat, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, I got the sub ready for the clear coat, and I'm using your standard testers in a can. I'm going to go ahead and hold it up, try to keep it in the frame, get the bottom, and then once I'm done with the bottom I'll put it on this stand here and get the top and the sides. So let me get my glove on and put a clear coat on it. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to pause the camera. Hopefully that's in frame. And everybody saw me put a clear coat on it. And like I said, let it sit and dry now. I'll pause the camera and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on the yellow submarine. I hit it with a couple coats of this lacquer clear coat from Testers. Got a nice shine to it. It looks a little rough in some spots. I'm going to have to really wait and check it out. Hopefully I won't have to do another wet sand to it, but I got that feeling I might have to. I just don't want to touch it right now. It's been sitting for a while. It's got a nice shine to it though, as you can see here on the video. Even with the way the light's hitting it. Looks pretty cool. I just wanted to give everybody a quick update on what it's looking like with the clear coat. I'll let it sit overnight. I don't know if I'll get to these panels this weekend. The one here in the rear, the one in the front, then the one on the bottom I want to hit with a lighter coat of not a lighter coat, but a lighter shade of yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera for now. Just wanted to give everybody a quick update. It does look good. It's got a nice shine to it. And like I said, there's a few spots that look a little rough. But I'll check it over real good after I think it's dried long enough and I can touch it. And I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, back on the yellow submarine. This is Saturday, January 13th, if I'm correct with the date. I'm down in my model shop. What I plan on working on today is the panels. I got 3 of them on the yellow submarine, one here in the rear, one up here, part of the conning tower, and then I got a nice big one down here on the bottom. And the only choice of other off-colored yellows that I have is this is Model Master. It's acrylic. It's reefer yellow. It's flat. Maybe the camera's gonna pick that up. And you can see next to the chrome yellow. Don't look too bad. I'll probably use it for one of the panels on top. The bottom panel, I'll probably go with this lime yellow X8 Tamiya, and it's a gloss. It's not a flat, and you can see it's a little bit brighter than the chrome, and that should look good on the bottom. And then maybe I'll go with the flat yellow XF3 for another panel on top, maybe the rear or over here. I'll probably decide I may use this on the front panel, and then the rear I'll probably use the flat here, and then the bottom I'll use the lemon yellow. Is that right? Yeah, it's lemon yellow. So I gotta prep this, get it ready, mask the areas off. It's still got a beautiful shine to it. I blew off the dust on it with the airbrush, but I'm gonna go ahead and prep this and get it ready for the spray booth. I did bring my table down from the spare room upstairs that I worked in. I have that down here. Lower shelves, I've got my tubing right here, different sizes for my builds. Run the wire through. I got some paints back there. I got my thinners down here. All my glues over here. All my can clear and flat coats down below. Extra glues and stuff down here. I got a work bench now. Another one, staging, I would say. I got this that I had on my spray booth for a long time, magnifying with the light. and I like it where you can just move it up and down. Here's the Batmobile that I haven't worked on. I want to get back to that. It's 1/25th scale, I think. This is part of the Hannibal 2. I want to, we got the lighting right here, and the interior right there. Then over here I got another staging table. This is the Hannibal 2, and this is the original Falcon that came out, I think, back in the 80s. Here's the yellow submarine base. It's all done. Just waiting for the model to get done. So I'm going to turn the camera back on the yellow submarine. I'll set this up and get it ready for the spray booth, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, back on the yellow submarine. I got the bottom masked off, as you can see right here, ready for the spray booth. I've got the paint mixed up already, ready to go. I usually label it to make sure I mixed it up with the Tamiya thinner. So let me pause the camera here, get the spray booth set up, and I'll be right back. Alright everybody, back on the yellow submarine. I got it ready in the spray booth. I got the paint in the cup and the airbrush. I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and hopefully this will be in frame. So hang on a second, let me get ready. Alright everybody, hopefully that's in frame. I'm going to let it dry and take the tape off and see what the results look like. I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, and I'll be back with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on the yellow submarine. I think that bottom panel I'm sure the camera should pick up the different shade of yellow. I think it turned out okay. The camera is going to pick up everything that the naked eye can't see. There may be a few spots that look rough. Also, I noticed here, you can see right there, put it up a little closer, the spot to your left and right, I guess the hatch messed that area up when I was painting it with the chrome, so I'm going to have to hit that with probably 2000 grit sandpaper, lightly wet sand that should smooth out. I'll keep my fingers crossed I don't have to go over that with some more chrome yellow, but we'll see. But that panel turned out really nice. I like the results. Turned out nice and clean. It looks really good. Like I said, there might be some spots that look rough. I'm going to mask off this panel here next and paint it, and then where my thumb is, I'm going to probably square that off and paint that too. And what I'm going to use for that panel on top and the bottom here is the Model Masters Reefer Yellow. That should look good, so I'm just going to cover this up instead of hitting it with some more yellow chrome. That should look good, so I'll just make my own little panel right there. So let me pause the camera, set everything up, and I'll get back with everybody later. Alright everybody, got the bottom masked off and the top. I'm going to get I got the paint and the spray airbrush, and I'm going to get ready here and go ahead and paint these two panels, so hopefully it'll be in frame. So let's get started. Alright everybody, I'm going to let those two dry. I'll pause the camera and I'll get back with everybody here in a minute. Alright everybody, another update. The panel, the homemade panel I did on the bottom here. The camera's going to pick that up. Probably not. I think it turned out okay for a homemade panel. Maybe, hopefully the camera's picking up the difference in tones of yellow. The top turned out really nice. Hopefully the camera's picking that up, but I think it turned out that reefer yellow really looks good. So I have to work on this last panel in the back with the flat yellow, and then I'll be done with that, and then I'll have to work on that fin back here. I have to touch that up with white, gloss white. That'll probably be next week. So let me go ahead and pause the camera and get this set up and paint that, and then I'll be done with the panels, and I'll get back with everybody here in a minute. Okay everybody, another update. All I have to do now is mask off the back panel here and paint it with flat yellow. You can see that turned out really nice, looks really good. Bottom panel looks good. And I want to give everybody a tip. This is a brand new bottle of flat yellow Tamiya, and loosen that up. Let me hang on a second. Okay, I'm going to add the thinner to the paint, and after I get it to where about right up here where I have it pointing at in the bottle, then I'll never have to add any more thinner to the paint. I wanted to give everybody this tip right here. It works as long as you got a new bottle of paint. You can use the lacquer thinner too. It'll make the paint dry quicker, but still the Tamiya dries pretty decent. I may give it a try one of these days with the lacquer thinner. A little bit more. That's about where I put it. You can see there's just about like 1/8 of an inch between where the thinner is to the top. Now I'll just mix that up, and I'll never ever have to add any more thinner to the paint, which is cool. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera now, get this set up for its final panel to be painted, and I'll get back with everybody here in a minute. Alright everybody, I got the final paint in the airbrush cup, the flat yellow. I'm going to go ahead and get started on this and do that last panel. So I'm going to put my mask on and get started. Alright everybody, I think that'll do it. I'll let it sit and dry, and I'll take the tape off and put it back on the stand and go ahead and show everybody the results. And I'll get back with everybody here as soon as that's dry and I set it up. I'll talk with everybody here in a few minutes. Alright everybody, this is the final update for the yellow submarine. I finished the back panel here. I used the Tamiya flat yellow XF3 for that panel right there. The front panel I used the Model Masters Reefer Yellow. That turned out really nice. And then the bottom panel right there, everybody can see, I used the Lemon Yellow X8. I took the masks off the hatches, and I'll have to touch them up next weekend. I'm going to have to hit them with some flat yellow, but I'll be working on the back here, the fin. I'll have to paint that gloss white, Tamiya white. I think it's X1. But overall I think it turned out really nice today. The 3 panels that I worked on, everything looks good. Here's the other panel, here's the other hatch, and I'll have to clean that up and redo it with flat yellow. But I'm gonna call this a wrap for part 10 on the yellow submarine. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk with everybody later.